a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I thought about my dream of Hades and Maria D'Angelo. Zeus had destroyed an entire hotel to eliminate 2 demigod children, just to save his own skin, because he was scared of a prophecy. He'd killed an innocent woman, and probably hadn't lost any sleep over it. Hades was no better. He wasn't powerful enough to take his revenge on Zeus, so he cursed the oracle, dooming a young girl to a horrible fate. And Hermes? Why had he abandoned Luke? Why hadn't he at least warned Luke, or tried to raise him better so he wouldn't turn evil? Maybe Prometheus was toying with my mind. Welcome to Of the Oldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Christina from Cabin 4.
Hell yeah, Tina.
I don't remember, it was like so many episodes ago, but I remember one time I said it so wrong, so hard. But that was back when I had a fraction in my cabin number, and that just wasn't kind to myself to set that kind of expectation.
we tried to be cute with it, okay?
It was very cute. No longer cute.
now you're just a Demeter kid, okay? You like plants.
Although I do still have that shirt that you and Taylor got me that says cabin 4 3/4, 3 4 quarters.
3 3/4.
That's what it says.
Between 3 and 4.
Okay. Yes, right, because Poseidon is 3.
Yes.
Okay, it's all
you were like, I couldn't decide if I wanted to be a Poseidon or Demeter.
Well, now I've decided, because every year I learn to hate men more.
As is your right.
This is my right.
It's a reason to be a Demeter kid. Absolutely. I agree. I also hate Poseidon.
You know, I've got some notes about his conduct.
Yeah.
As we all do. Hey, bro, why are we here today? What is this? Do we read something?
Perhaps. We might have read some more Percy Jackson. Again.
Christina, did you read Percy Jackson? Is that why you're here?
Yeah, you were supposed to read Percy Jackson, in case you didn't know.
I'm so sorry. I got confused. I've read Lord of the Rings.
Oh, good.
No, wait. You were supposed to watch Star Wars.
I did that too. I did everything wrong. No, I did in fact read. Just now, in fact. Like 3 minutes ago, so it's fresh.
Yeah,
that is the way that it normally goes around here.
Within an hour of recording, I try to read the chapter.
Otherwise, it like all leaves my brain.
Exactly. I understand.
Yeah.
World's most ADHD podcast network.
Wait, new network name right there.
No, I don't, guys. I can't claim what doesn't belong to me.
I know you're technically not ADHD, but whatever.
I know it's stolen valor. I'll let you though. I'll allow it.
I was recently talking to my friend Emma, who has bipolar disorder, among other things, and I was talking to her about how, people are changing the way they look at the word crazy. And I was like, I've been trying to use like bananas and bonkers instead of crazy. And Emma was like, bitch, just say crazy. If anybody complains, say, I have a crazy friend. She said I can.
Linguistic drift is like fascinating, like the way that
it is.
Yeah.
So
I'll be like, I'm not neurotypical. I can say that. So.
I'm stealing neurodivergent valor left and right.
How dare you?
Well, I have like the only neurodivergency I have is like acute anxiety, and I feel like that's one that people don't even. You know what I mean? It's like different a lot of the time.
Cultural perceptions of mental illness versus like social stuff, and like the way that social stuff affects how mental illness is diagnosed or even recognized. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
But anyways, anxiety is a real disorder and people should be more normal about it. Or maybe less normal, I'm not sure.
went to a therapist and I was like, I have anxiety and I want to talk about it. And after a couple sessions, she was like, well, I don't think that you have anxiety disorder. And I'm like, that is not meaningful to me, one way or the other. I want to talk about this clutching feeling around my heart. So everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Literally. So Percy Jackson, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Talk about neurodivergent.
The chapter is called A Titan Brings Me a Present.
Yeah? Is this correct?
Accurate. It's less of a funny / bizarre one, but it is incongruous enough that it leaves an impression on the reader. It emphasizes the important point of the chapter. It bookends the chapter nicely. I have no fucking notes. Perfect chapter title.
It's really good because sometimes Rick will, and I know you guys have talked about this before, but he'll do that thing where he names the chapter after something funny, but like not the, which I get it. You want it to be funny. That's how Burn Before Reading names our episodes. But it's like, that's not what happens in this chapter, my dude.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Rick invented clickbait, basically, with his chapter title.
Oh my god, speaking of clickbait, Charlie, that reminds me, a couple weeks ago, you were on Burn Before Reading, and our clickbait title for that is The Straight Ship Was a Real Twist.
Oh, I'm so glad that's the title.
Incredible.
I'm so glad.
We were all shocked that Charlie brought a straight romance that they had written a million years ago. We were like, what is this?
I was 14. It was before I knew I could be gay.
You're the gayest person I've ever met in my life. It was shocking. It was shockingly straight.
Listen, I didn't know bisexuality was a thing yet. I did not know you could like both.
There's like a Freaky Friday body swap situation going on, and instead of being like, hey, why are you in my body? It's like, hey, why are you touching my boyfriend?
What? Oh my god.
Y'all have to go listen to that episode, please.
I gotta get in there. Incredible.
Charlie hates himself for this. I can't live it down, but I have to. Okay, it's on a podcast now.
Well, I'm going to tell you the things that happens. Percy, he meets up with Prometheus and Ethan Nakamura and an Empusa and a frost giant who are apparently nicer in Percy Jackson than in D&D.
Yay!
Prometheus tells us that resistance is futile and we all ought to join the winning side. Meanwhile, Percy and Ethan are just like having major beef on the side.
I love that.
Percy gets himself a fun vision about how Hermes did not do shit for Luke, even though he knew all the shit that was going to go down. And then Prometheus gives Percy Pandora's jar and tells him that anytime he wants to give up, he just has to release the last dregs of hope inside. And that is it. It's a short fucking chapter.
Yeah, I think that's the shortest summary you've ever done for one of these chapters.
I mean, not a lot happens, and yet there is so much fucking myth context to unpack here.
Yeah, there really is.
I'm so
New
sorry.
shit for you.
Over on Restricted section, my shortest chapter summary was really easy. It was the one that goes, Dumbledore dies.
Yeah.
So easy. People know exactly what you're talking about.
Spoilers!
Sorry.
God.
Sorry, guys. Dumbledore dies. Guess what? Oh, you might not know Harry also dies.
Oh, shit!
It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind.
I mean, you know what? We all die someday. That's real life.
Dare you, first of all. Second of all, in this, I mean, not if you're a Titan, I guess.
Apparently not.
You don't know?
You want to use that as a segue?
Sure.
I laid it out for you.
Yeah.
Like a red carpet directly to your episode.
Blue carpet, excuse you.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Well, in case you missed it,
but
I'm going to talk about some things. Like, hey, does anyone know what one of my favorite mythological figures could possibly be? Does anyone know?
I might have
Frost Giant. Well, I only said that because the Frost Giant in this chapter, I was thinking of Homeboy from Frozen. So I thought there might have been a connection there for you and your little heart of hearts.
No, sadly there's not. Although I do love a good Frost Giant. They are nice.
You've actually chosen the opposite elemental sense in this situation.
Yeah. My homeboy Prometheus, probably, I think maybe one of the like first myths that I can remember reading was like the myth of Prometheus.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he's cool. and thus started me and my love of tricksters. I love a good trickster, you know. They're usually less of an asshole than the people they're stealing from. So I vibe with it.
A Robin Hood, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
I'm right smack in the middle of Robin Hood town on Once Upon a Time right now. God, he's so sexy. He's so sexy.
Good.
You know what? As much as I love, I think is it Sean Maguire, the guy who plays Robin Hood in like most of Once Upon a Time. God, I wish we were in the universe where it was what's his face from Lucifer who actually got to play him all the way through the series.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was in the first time you see Robin Hood. It's a different guy than who plays him for the rest of the show.
Well, that's why he's not in my head, I guess.
Okay,
Okay, so they're both hot. You know who else is hot?
They are.
Carrie Ewells in Men in Tights. You know who else is hot? That fox in the Disney version. Okay,
I was gonna say, like,
Kevin Costner. Okay.
I bet the furries are disappointed at the Once Upon a Time.
Show me a Robin Hood who's not hot, even the furry one.
I don't think I can.
You can't.
Like,
It's impossible.
Yeah.
He's hot.
Like-
Everyone loves a steal from the rich, give to the poor.
I mean,
guy.
Robin Hood specifically.
Oh, the
has
one
never
from
been-
Shrek.
Well
We don't
done,
speak of
Raye.
him.
You did
We
it.
don't speak of that
You
one.
did it. No, that's really fair. I'll
Do
allow
not
it.
speak of him.
Oh, Mary
no.
man.
Robin Hood has never been my hyperfixation, but I don't know. I just love a trickster for the most part. Anyway, Prometheus.
Yes.
He's a dude. Rick fucking murdered his characterization, to me, at least.
It was less bad than I thought it was going to be, like, remembering it, like, knowing that this is pretty much his only scene, but...
What do you mean?
The fact that this is his only scene to me just messes me up.
He's not a fun, cool guy. He's on the evil side, which is
Why
disappointing
is he
in general.
wearing a suit?
I don't know why he's wearing it, but the tux is a really strong vibe.
It's too strong.
This might not help, but at least they say it looks like a magician's outfit, which is the only like trickstery thing that he has going for him.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
So I was thinking about this because Percy says he's wearing a tux, he looks like a magician. I just think that means that Percy has never seen a tux outside of the context of a magic show.
You're absolutely
When has he ever
correct.
been to like a super formal wedding or something?
Never.
No.
Even that one like dance he went to was like a middle school dance. Do people have to dress up at those?
People wear
Barely.
jeans to those. We were fighting about this on Perm Before Reading recently. Apparently people wear jeans to middle school dances.
Yes, they did. It was terrible. Yeah, no, Prometheus, his name does in fact mean forethought. Rick is correct about that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of other like possible meanings for it. There's also a theory that it means like thief or to steal, I guess. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit up my favorite.
Also makes sense.
I'm gonna hit up my favorite etymon.
Yeah, tell me the etymology. See if it is here.
It might not do it because it's a name. I spelled Prometheus wrong. Interpreted etymologically as forethinker, foreseer, from Prometheus, thinking before, from which means before, mythos, which means to learn.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
in another view, this is folk etymology, and some professionals suggest that the second element is from the Sanskrit word for steel, mathnathi. But that to me feels like a real stretch. Because you're taking it geographically and linguistically much farther away. Yeah,
that's why that doesn't totally work to me. But like, Metheus and like the whole like thought and like learn, I don't know, the word looks similar to like Metis, who's like the titan of like, you know, counsel and like thinking and all of that stuff, like Athena's mom. So I don't know, I think forethought makes sense to me.
I mean, definitely in this chapter it's like all he's got.
Yeah,
he's like, listen to me, I have forethought, please.
Yeah, the Wikipedia page is like, he's the god of forethought, fire, and crafty counsel.
Crafty counsel is like exactly what I want on my council when I'm in charge. Like, make it crafty.
Yeah,
she's
like
crafty.
You know what? He makes all the craft projects. Like, you've been making all those craft projects lately.
That's not what that means.
That's what you meant. That's absolutely what you meant. That's crafty.
Currently crocheting. I'm actively crafty right now.
So, I think I've already talked about like the sacrificial offerings, like way in like Lightning Thief, because like we first learned about like sacrifice to the gods and all of that shit. Prometheus is involved in like that stuff. He set forth the 2 offerings to Zeus. It's like, okay, so do you want this real tasty looking thing that's actually like fat? It's not actually what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's bones wrapped in fat. Or do you want this thing that looks kind of gross, but like it's actually all of the nourishing things that you want? Zeus was like, I'm gonna judge the book by its cover. And he chose the thing that looked pretty and looked nice to eat. And so
that's fine. He doesn't need to eat, right?
Exactly. This is like, I know it's a sacrifice, so like, oh, maybe it should be like something really good, whatever. Prometheus cares about humanity. Okay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He helped create humans. Like, literally sculpted them from clay and all of that shit.
Do you remember that quote from Steve Buscemi in Spy Kids 2 when he's like, do you think God stays in heaven because he too fears what he has created?
Of course I remember that quote from Spy Kids 2 with Steve Buscemi.
No one can forget that fucking quote ever in their lives.
Prometheus is like, Prometheus stays on his cliff because he too fears what he has created.
You know what? It's more the opposite. I think he would chill out with humans if he fucking could.
No, totally. He's like the kind of god who I think would be caught like vibing, like around like a campfire. Not to be that way about the fire, but like I think he would be doing small things with humans and appreciating like small human moments. Like he would come to your daughter's quinceañera just because he wants to like get the vibe.
That is also the vibe that I get from him, which is not what we get from Percy Jackson.
Yeah. So. He would show up to like a gender reveal and be like, wow, this is insane. You guys are so cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So technically I had to go to the Epimetheus page to find out the specific things I wanted to find. When he was creating humanity. So Prometheus and his brother were told to like create all of the different things. Epimetheus was like, hey, I'm gonna create all the animals, and he gives them all the fucking coolest shit he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
All of the cool stuff was given away to the animals. There was nothing left for humanity. And then
okay,
Prometheus
so note about
like,
this myth: humans are not animals in this myth, which is fake.
Yeah. I mean, Prometheus then is like, well, humans have nothing left. We need to give them something cool. So he gives them like the thinking and like all of that shit, like literally the curiosity, and they're his golden child. They're his favorite. Okay, leave them be. They're his OC. Do not steal.
Wait, that's
Except
so funny. It's like literally true.
It's like all of humanity, though. Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, he actually cares. Like, yes, he's like kind of an asshole in the things he does to Zeus, but I don't like Zeus, so I don't care what he does to Zeus.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So why you act like my enemy, Prometheus?
Yeah. So because of what Prometheus did with the sacrifice and stuff, Zeus takes away fire from humanity. No more fire. None fire for them. And that's why he goes to steal it. He steals it back. He gives them that because they fucking will die.
Wait, in the myth, humans already had fire?
Yeah, that's surprised me also.
I totally thought that this myth was about the origin of humans inventing fire.
And I believe it was that, like, there's many
like retellings.
There's many generations of humans.
Oh.
So I believe it was, like, kind of scrapping all of what's left of humanity, and then like taking away the fire as well.
That's
and then,
so
like, making
mean
things-
to take it
Yeah.
away once we already had it. Like, bro, we have forges and stuff. We need this. We know how to cook meat now.
Yeah, they did in fact have fire because they had to make sacrifices before, but then he takes it away. So Prometheus gives it back to us so that we can like not fucking die because Earth is fucking cold, and we
True.
need fire to survive.
So,
And make food.
I read something not that long ago that was saying that fire and the ability to cook is actually a large part of why we are so intelligent. That being able to break down nutrients before you eat them and take in so many calories is like how we run our fuck off huge brains.
That makes
So
sense.
like the science and the mythology are like combining here. That's really cool.
Hey, he's the god of smartness and also like the god of fire. Makes sense to me. The spark of intelligence right there. And then for all of this shit, Prometheus gets his fun little punishment, which is to be put on like where is it? Is it just like a mountain or something?
It's like a cliff face. This is like the worst thing I can imagine, honestly.
Yeah. And then he says a vulture in the book, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure it's an eagle because it's Zeus's eagle, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was eagles.
I don't remember hearing eagles. I remember vultures.
This says eagle many times in here. Does it say vulture ever? Because I mean, it's a big bird.
You know what it might be? Both.
Oh, there's a different giant chained in Tartarus with 2 vultures eating his liver. So it's like the same thing as this.
Shut the
Oh my
fuck
god.
up. Okay, so they started getting really uncreative with their punishment.
They did.
Okay,
It's just a different fucking guy.
That's hilarious.
If you had to pick one, would you rather have your liver pecked out by an eagle every day and then have it grow back overnight? Would you rather be carrying the entire weight of the earth upon your shoulders? Or would you rather be pushing a giant boulder up a mountain every single day only to watch it fall back down? And that's your life. That's your destiny.
Oh, psychologically, there's a big difference between those things.
I know.
Like, I feel like the Prometheus one is worst because you can't do anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's just chained to a rock. Like, he can't go anywhere.
So, like, you're not going to have any purpose in life.
Sure.
Part of the torture of Sisyphus is that you feel like you have a purpose and then it gets snatched away from you every time.
Yeah.
And, like, the absolute horror of that. But then we can like subvert that and do one must imagine Sisyphus happy and go the Hades route. But like if we're imagining it as an actual torture and it's horrible every time, I think the holding up the sky is probably the best. Like it sucks constantly, but at least you're like, I'm contributing.
You have a purpose, and your purpose is to make sure that everyone doesn't die. Or you can just be like, fuck this and let them all die.
So is that yours too, Charlie?
I feel like Raye has rationalized it for me. But like I also like the happy Sisyphus thing that happens in the game Hades. So
yes.
Oh, you meant the game Hades. I was like, what's up with Sisyphus and Hades? That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking about the game Hades where Sisyphus is just like the Zen master of the underworld. I love him.
Cool.
And his best friend is a giant rock named Boldy.
He friends the rock.
Yeah. Who else is he going to talk to?
It has a face.
Okay. I think I would go Sisyphus because your calves are going to be so fit. And like I am the kind of person where I prefer like a doing to like a stasis. Like for example, if there's like a lot of traffic in front of me and it's going to take me just as long to go around, but I'm moving, like I'll go around. You know what I mean?
And I'm kind of the opposite. I'd rather just sit and wait generally.
Okay, so it looks like we're in our correct perspective.
Yeah.
roles.
Get our niches right.
There we go. We did it. Yeah. So Prometheus is kind of like fucked over a lot, and he did side with the gods in the first war because of all the forethought, but I don't think there's a whole lot about like why he did that, but otherwise he's on the side of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fuck him over, and then Hercules frees him. What a nice guy. That one time.
The
That
one time
one
Hercules
time.
does something good.
Was that I don't remember that myth. Was that one of his labors, or was it like a rogue encounter? Like how did that happen to Hercules?
I think he was on the way to one of his labors, and I think like either Prometheus had information for him, or he just like ran into him like on his way, because it was just right place, right time.
Okay.
And then it freed him.
Classic
'Cause
Good
why not?
Samaritan, Hercules.
No, sometimes it can happen. Heracles is not always the biggest asshole, just like his father. And then, funnily enough, Prometheus. I mean, I didn't go into like the parentage. There's a lot going up there. Hey, did you know that his father is one of our favorite titans, Bob?
Oh my god.
Bob the Titan. Bob the Titan.
Who's
Is
Bob?
Prometheus' dad?
What?
There's a short story where Percy drops a titan into the river Leaf and erases his memories, and then tells him his name is Bob and they're best friends.
Bob.
That's so funny. I've never read the short story, so I did not know that. That's very very Percy of him.
It is.
Read the short stories. Maybe all of these things are relevant to Heroes of Olympus, potentially. They all come back. Also, Prometheus' brother is Atlas, as well as Epimetheus. And his son is Deucalion from the flood myth. Greece has a flood myth, of course.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
Who doesn't?
Who fucking doesn't? But let's also go back to more consequences of Prometheus and go to our next myth of Pandora.
Pandora's box? I heard it was a box.
I will eject you from the podcast.
That's like
It has to be a box, or else the Danny Phantom episode doesn't work, so...
I mean, that's the only reason it can be a box. It's the only fucking reason I will allow it.
I feel like every couple of years, everyone in the world like learns a thing at the same time, and I feel like did you know that it was actually a jar? I feel like that is like a very like 2 years ago everyone learned it, and now it's like, did you know? It's a vessel. Yeah. Whatever it is, you can open it and put something inside, and you can also open something out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be a jewelry box. It could be a water bottle. It could be a pot with a lid. It could be a lot of things.
I mean, I learned this when I was 12 and I read the series, and it never left my brain.
Oh my god, you are so cool and smart.
Apparently I was. But yeah, Pandora, kind of related to the Prometheus thing. Zeus was just fucking mad. So like, not only did he make Prometheus suffer for all time, but he decides to have Pandora exist. And her existence is a punishment to humanity.
Wow,
she is the
that is
first
so fucked
woman.
up.
Yeah, deeply horrible. God damn it.
This is the misogyny myth, everyone.
I hate the misogyny.
This is the first woman. This is the Eve, basically.
I cannot fucking believe this shit.
Pandora's box is the Adam and Eve story that you all didn't want. Did you not know? Yeah, it kind of sucks. But Pandora, her name means like all gifted, all giving, what have you, because like, yeah. Pan means all, and then Dora is like gift. So,
Dora the gift.
I can't. But yeah, and you know what? That name is because all of the gods literally give her something.
Huh.
All of them are involved in her creation. Hephaestus is the one who molds her to be a beautiful evil.
Please.
Athena dresses her.
What is a woman good for if not beauty and evil?
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Athena teaches her needlework and weaving. Aphrodite, I think that just means gives her beauty. This is sheds grace upon her head, and cruel longing and cares that weary the limbs.
That kind of writing
mean?
is why I can't stand poetry. It's like, wait, what the fuck are you saying, though?
Exactly. Hermes gives her a shameless mind and a deceitful nature. We love that.
Mm.
Maybe she wouldn't have to be so damn deceitful if you weren't so sexist against women.
but also the power of speech and putting in her lies and crafty words.
The original, like, Jezebel.
Literally.
What do you call them? Femme fatale. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not allowed to say
and
Jezebel,
also
according to the Barbie movie.
Also the original femme, right?
Like,
Period.
literally original femme. But also,
Damn.
yes, she is fatal. Yeah, they gave her a lot of fucking things. Lastly, but not least, a jar, which gets translated into a box.
A container.
Yeah, just because, like, you know, translations are always like that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that doesn't really work in whatever situation. We're just going to make it a box. And then that just stuck.
I googled why people get this confused, and it's always just like one idiot dude.
Yeah, it's
like
just one
this,
translation.
a Renaissance humanist Erasmus either mistranslated or confused
Of course,
it.
it was Erasmus.
It's like he just fucked up, and we all said okay.
I like to think that maybe it was a specific translation choice, but maybe it was just him fucking it up. Who knows?
I don't know.
Only him.
Britannica.com says he fucked it up.
Hilarious. Roast that guy.
As you should.
Oh my god, all of this art of Pandora is so fucking beautifully stunning. I cannot believe it.
I mean, she's supposed to be a fucking beautiful, fatal woman.
I meant like the art is really beautiful. She's beautiful
Oh.
too, but like this art is so cool.
Nice.
We love it.
All this art is her being like, oh no, wait,
Oh, no.
go back in the box.
So she is then given as a gift herself to Prometheus's brother, Epimetheus, the Titan of Afterthought.
Oh, hindsight 2020.
I think that's there's a really good comedy scene in here between the two of them. Like there's something there that's very funny. Like so like Prometheus is like, watch out before the piano hits you on the head or whatever. And then Epimetheus is like, oh, watch out. And you're like, I'm already dead.
Wait, oh my god, wait, to put it in Steven Universe terms.
I was
Please
I was thinking the same thing. Sapphire and Pradparacha.
Prometheus is a sapphire, and Epimetheus is Paraparacha, who can tell you the future, but only once it's happened.
There's a 30% chance it's already raining.
Yes, correct. Oh my god. Yeah, so she is accepted by Epimetheus. They're married now. That's his wife. And then she opens the thing. It is not really a curiosity thing as many people like to put it. I feel like that's making the myth better than intention of the myth is to be like, no, women suck. They wanted to put the curses upon the land, actually. Like this was fully intentional. Of her opening the jar with all of these things.
Charlie, I know that it portrays her in a bad light, but if you were the only woman on Earth, wouldn't you kind of want to?
I mean, you know what? The better question is, are these curses and all of this shit on quote unquote mankind, is it just men? Do women not get any of that shit?
That can't be right. Based on today and what's happening today, that can't be right.
No, that's why they're compensating.
Because we have it all.
Yes. Yes. That's why they're compensating with all of this sexism because women are so much better.
And see me on the street, they're like, God, she's so brilliant, funny, and beautiful. I just have to be a douchebag to her.
Yes.
Okay, I buy it because I am beautiful and funny.
So you're telling me that men have been cursed with every evil contained in the universe, and that because of this, women have been cursed with sexism, and the sexism is worse?
But you know what? She still has hope. Because hope will never leave Pandora. Who cares about mankind? Just Pandora.
The hope thing is so like Katara. It's like
Yeah, it does. It's Snow White from Once Upon a Time.
yes.
The hope pieces.
Oh my god, the number of times I've wanted to slap that woman across the face. Like, shut the fuck up. Your life
Holy
is
shit.
in danger. I cannot stand her. I hate her and love her so much.
You know what? We need. Is there not already a meme in existence of like the handholds, but it's like Katara and Snow White, and it's like hope speeches.
So now, Charlie, what you do is when you're editing this episode, you cut that out, and then you actually just make the meme so that nobody can steal it from you.
You're right. I could also just make it now and be like spoilers.
Make it right
for
now.
like 2 weeks from now. Yeah. So I guess that's how I make the Pandora myth better. I made it better by not being like, no, it's not about the curiosity. It's about the fact that women are just cooler and men are curses.
Okay.
That's how I've made it better. You're welcome.
A man is a curse.
Yeah, so that's Pandora and her box in a nutshell.
Y'all ever been to
sexism.
Y'all ever been to that kiosk at the mall called Pandora where they sell like body jewelry?
I've
I
seen
know that exists.
I've never been.
I wonder how she would feel about that being her legacy.
I mean, are they not all gifts? Are they gifts?
I don't
all
think.
Gifting?
I think that I've only ever bought for myself at Pandora.
Yeah,
I don't know
probably.
If I've ever bought a box.
I think it'd be a little like you can't surprise someone with a body piercing.
Well, maybe if you like really know that they want it and you're like, we're going to get it now because it's your birthday. Although I did try to do that to my best friend once and she bailed.
Shit.
I tried to take her to Claire's to re-pierce her ears after they'd closed in for like 5 years. And she was like, there's too many kids here. Let's go. And then she eventually went back and the girl at Claire's was like, your ears didn't even close in, you idiot. And then just shoved some earrings.
Oh my god.
I technically did get my ears pierced twice at Claire's.
I've gotten them
pierced and then re-pierced.
I've gotten them pierced like 4 times. One because I have the 3 rows.
But at Claire's?
Yeah, all at Claire's.
Okay.
I worked there. I could do it for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, best place to get your ears pierced, right?
It's not, but honestly,
no.
It's like not that big of a deal, in my opinion, for your lobes. I just don't think it's that big of a deal to get it done with a gun. It's the cartilage that you want to watch out for.
That makes sense to me.
Your lobes are like built to recover, but your cartilage is a lot more fragile. But I did get my cartilage pierced there and it's fine.
If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, the piercing gun apparently like crushes the tissue and it's better to go to an actual piercer and get a needle so that it can like stab through.
Yes. So what it is, the difference is that the gun pierces with the earring and it pushes your skin and tissue out of the way. If you get it done at a piercer, it's like removing a small amount to make a hole instead of like pushing. And,
that makes sense.
And traumatizing.
You know what? You could just do the Parent Trap method where you just do it yourself.
Oh my god, I tried so hard to do that when I was in middle school to get a second ear piercing, and it did not work because it's really hard to cause yourself like pain like that. My friend Mackenzie pierced her belly button with a safety pin when we were in middle school, and after she did it, she was like, oh, I don't have a belly button ring. So she just had a safety pin in her belly button for like weeks and weeks. It was like 2004. Safety pins were very in back then.
I'm traumatized by this.
While my little sister was visiting, Teddy pierced her ears for her. Gave her a second piercing in the lobe.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I cannot believe you guys are doing this shit.
I used to take the like piercing guns from Claire's and pierce my friend's ears. Yeah.
Oh my god!
You can do it just as sanitary outside of a Claire's as you can inside.
I mean, yeah, it's not like the Claire's is like a beacon of like medical sanitation, but
so many grubby children's mall fingers all over that
I'm just that's just such a wild thing to do. That's hilarious.
What's your weapon of choice? A Claire's ear piercing gun? All right, we can talk about the chapter now.
Yeah, this episode's going to be so fucking long, my fucking god.
think this is mine too.
Guys,
this is mine to edit.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I always do this to us.
No, it's
everyone.
us. We're always like, oh, it's this guest, and then we go long every time, and then I'm like, I think we just go long.
I think we just go long.
It doesn't even matter if we have a guest.
Yeah, true that. True that. Yeah.
All right. So the Titan is bringing me a present.
It's
do we
true.
not love? Yeah, it is true. Do we not love our giant blue friend?
I do love our giant blue friend. I'm very sad about him.
I know, and Percy is also sad. Percy says, I'm sad.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
He's like Tyson.
Well, before we even get there, so I've not been reading along because I have a life and we have a lot of podcasts about media.
I understand,
but
I forgive you.
I've read this book series. I think 2021 is when I reread this book series. So not that long ago, within the last 3 years.
It was like when we started the podcast.
Yeah, and I have read this several times since then. But I opened this chapter and I was like, oh, what the hell's going on? And then I went to the last chapter and I was like, oh, this isn't helping at all. So I just was like, well, I'm not going to read the chapter before because that's going to confuse me worse. So I do not remember like where we are in this battle. So much shit happens.
We're in a battle.
A lot of it is like, doesn't necessarily have to go in a certain order. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking about like the last Harry Potter book where like things are like going in an order. So I have no idea what has happened recently.
Okay, let's catch you up very, very shortly. They are holding New York. Percy bribed the Rivers to like keep all of the monsters out of the water so they can only go over the bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And
they held the bridges and the tunnels.
And Annabeth got stabbed. She took a hit that was meant for Percy, so she's
wondering
out of
where
commission right
Annabeth
now.
was. Who
Yes.
stabbed her? I don't remember that at all.
Ethan, the guy who's here
That's
this
why
whole
we're
chapter.
so mad at Ethan right now.
That's why we hate him right now.
Because
so
I
much.
I was reading this and I was like, I remember this name, but like, who the fuck is this guy? He's the one who stabbed Annabeth. Okay, great.
Yeah, we just had our chapter that was really Percabeth oriented, where like he told her about his spot and she touched it and his Achilles curse spot or whatever.
Touch my spot, baby. I'll let you touch me where I'm vulnerable. Well, I feel like I need to reread the chapter now with the appropriate amount of mad at Ethan.
It's okay. We'll be mad at him. Don't worry about it.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you kick Percy really hard in the balls, is he really going to be fine?
Yeah, you always have to wonder, don't you? Like,
yeah, like
is he going to feel pain?
Like, what is
he going to
feel? Before we
feel?
started this chapter, Charlie and I were talking about Superman, and that's something that I've always wondered about Superman also, because, like, he's supposed to be the man of steel, quote unquote. And,
balls
like,
of steel.
People talk a lot about, like, how, like, if you, like, touch him, he's, like, very hard, like, physically. And I'm like,
total Edward Cullen.
How does Superman fuck? Is he soft to hold? Like, and so I think that Superman and Percy Jackson are non-Newtonian fluids, and that if you hit them, they harden up. But if you just like poke them gently, like the flesh distends.
That's so upsetting because like smacking someone is not my favorite way to get them hard. It does work sometimes, but
my brain was also just like, what if he just doesn't feel anything? Like, what if it's just like fully numbness?
And see, I don't like that.
Does he feel pleasure?
That would make me sad.
That can be really dangerous. You know how when you get a filling and you're like half your mouth is numb and your dentist is like careful eating so you don't bite your face, like you could die from not feeling pain.
Yeah, not
except if you were Percy Jackson because you're invulnerable now. But
well, yes, sure.
When that shit happens, I do just like to like lightly nom on the side of my mouth.
You're not supposed to do that shit. It's so bad for you.
Absolutely horrifying. I'm really upset you said that to me.
You're welcome.
When I did get a filling a couple days ago, well, like a couple weeks ago, and I had it on both sides, and I like could not talk, but I had to go pick up one of Sean's prescriptions, and I was sitting in the car practicing saying I have to pick up a prescription for my husband. I practiced it like 10 times, and I was like, as good as it's gonna get.
That's so rough.
Oh,
I
boy.
was late for school once, and my teacher was like calling me out and gave me like this whole speech about like how I'm going to a special school now, so I have to be so responsible. And half of my face would not move, and I was like, "I just came from the dentist," and she was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
The proof is in the face.
We love that.
Wow, fucking Ethan, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Yes.
fucking Ethan, we hate him. Also, there's Hyperboreans just like in Canada.
Yeah, and Talia
when
has
we-
had snowball fights with them.
Yeah, when we go visit Juice, we need to find some Hyperboreans.
Have fun. Yeah, I've heard Canada's a real small country where it's really easy to find stuff.
Absolutely, the smallest of countries. So who's here? We have a giant. We have an Impuza who is looking super fine, just like in a black dress.
She looks
flaming
great.
hair.
She's ready for date night.
Hell
She
yeah.
really is. Like, her and Prometheus look like they're going to a gala or something.
They look like they're gonna do a magician show. She's the lovely assistant.
Oh my god.
He is.
Well, I have a question. Why is Prometheus rolling so deep right now? Like,
Don't-
why does he need like an entourage?
I
Okay,
guess you don't want to come to a peace talk thing alone, because it's
Yeah, I was-
dangerous.
I was trying to figure out why this specific group of characters.
That's why I'm asking
Yeah.
because I think that Ethan makes sense because we need a face to face, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the other two,
because we need a demigod, and then
Yeah.
also based on his parentage, I feel like it makes sense why he's here.
It's so that we can have the conversation that they have, which is like very
Yeah.
relevant to the book's themes.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later, but like all of that makes sense why Ethan is here. Absolutely, Prometheus and the Pandora situation. Yeah, that's why he's here.
Well, and he's a really cool mythological character, also that, as we mentioned, has not been used before. So I feel like at this point, Rick's
Yeah.
like, "Who's left? Who do we got?"
Who's left?
Bring him out.
Hyperborean is the muscle.
At what cost?
I guess the Impuza is like Prometheus's date. Wait,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
fiery.
Oh, she
Are
is a
they
fiery
fiery?
person. Yeah.
She's fiery, and he gives fire to humanity.
But so like she's the one who it doesn't make
Excuse me.
sense why she's here in universe. Outside of universe, like book-wise, she is here to like represent the monstrous contingent like of Kronos' forces, whereas the giant
Right.
kind of represents like innocence getting wrapped up in things, and then Ethan represents like the more complicated demigod perspective.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
But,
just thinking
yeah.
of why they chose these people to come here.
Yeah, it's really strange that she's just here as his date.
Yeah.
Prometheus is here for the craftiness. Ethan is here because we need a demigod representative, and that's like Luke's right hand man. Hyperborean is the muscle, and then Impuza is just Prometheus's date.
Really, really weird, but I mean,
don't
presumably
know.
she's also muscle, and she just acts like this because that's how Impuzas like to act.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Grover has a fear of bunnies.
Oh, I love this aside. It's like no matter how serious Percy Jackson gets, it's never that serious.
Yeah.
I am just remembering how I forgot to add that into one of my recent D&D characters. I was gonna do that in our campaign, Raye, when with Juice. I
Oh
was
my
just-
god.
because Teddy is playing a bunny, and I was just like, what if my character is just afraid of rabbits? Like,
Very
fearful.
funny.
That'd be great. Yeah, also just reminds me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. One of my favorite characters is deathly afraid of bunnies. she's just a person. Yeah, so we meet this okay, he's kind of hot. I'm not
He's
gonna
hot,
lie.
and he's like so nice and cool in this position.
I get the impression that he's a huge sleazeball from this interaction, but
Which is how I don't want to imagine Prometheus.
he's got dark round glasses, which is quite the look, and he's got
Yeah.
hair tied back.
I was gonna say,
looking
let
up fan
me
art.
look at the there's official art of him, as from what I
Ooh.
remember.
No, he
There
looks
is
cool.
official
I'd sleep with this guy.
Yes, he's really
Good.
good. There's a couple official
Oh.
arts. There's the old art. Oh, okay, that's the old art. The old art
This
doesn't have the
picture?
glasses.
this picture of Prometheus. It's like he's like laying down. It's like he's about to get his liver pecked out, but he's like laying down and kind of like facing away from the camera, and the eagle's coming at him, and it looks like the eagle is straight up trying to suck his dick. The
You know
eagle's
what?
like,
I'm seeing this. I'm seeing it too. Yeah. You know what? The fan art not as bad as I thought it was.
I'd smash
I
this
remembered it.
specific version of him.
I remembered it looking worse for some reason.
I mean, I do definitely like a character who plays both sides has to be like so charismatic, like a Loki type. You know what I mean? Like they have to really.
Yes, this is a Loki type.
Yeah, but there's like a flip side of it, and the flip side is like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, where it's like, oh, you actually don't care about or stand for anything. Like you will do anything to protect yourself and your own interests in a way that is like not charismatic. I think it's the charisma that changes it straight up, because Loki, you like want him to win, but like other characters that are morally gray or more like morally ambivalent are not as fun to cheer for sometimes.
Yeah. I don't really cheer for this Prometheus very much.
I just think he's nice and respectful. I love like in a war when the opposing sides come together and are like, well, we can talk like humans. Oh, LOL, he's not a human, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's like, let's chit chat like civilized folk.
Yeah, like come on, sit down. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I may look like I was attacked by a small hamster, but like, don't worry, I'm not gonna attack you.
Oh, go ahead, Raye.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when we were reading the graphic novel version of the Iliad, I did find that like the most charming scene where everybody was just like, oh, hold up for a minute. Let's just sit down and like we can let these two guys have a death duel and it'll be like really cool and fun. And the rest of us can just like hang out.
Yeah, or like
it was good shit.
I think I remember hearing about like the Revolutionary War, like on Christmas, they would be like, well, not today. Let's hang out and have dinner today.
I think that's one of the world wars also, where there's like the Christmas truce.
I'm sure it's happened with a lot of different holidays throughout a lot of different wars.
I was gonna say, I remember the episode of Doctor Who, where he literally like helps a guy from World War I. It's the Christmas Day, like whatever, where everybody like stopped fighting and they all sang Christmas carols in like English and German.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think that Prometheus is pulling out some intimidation techniques here. He's wearing a tux, which is an absolute intimidation choice. He also, even though he's in his human form, is still 7 feet tall, which you don't need to do that.
Yeah, that was not required.
Yeah, and then he does bring his like girl and his posse, which is like a final intimidation move.
Yeah, you're right. That's why the Impuza is here, because when you're doing like a mob boss thing, you gotta have a girl.
God, I hate that. Why is he a mob boss?
Well, I'm picturing more like, okay, so he was on the side of the gods in the last war, like not on the side of the Titans. And so, but now he's on the side of the Titans, and the Titans are like, fucking A, man, I can't trust you. And so he's like, come on, guys, I'm gonna go liaise with Percy Jackson. Who wants to come with me? Come on, everybody, let's go. We need a big. And it's like, no, just like 2 dudes are like, and they're like, Ethan, you have to go too. And it's like, Prometheus is like, really? Nobody wants to come with me? And it's like, motherfucker, you fought against us in the last war. Nobody wants to go with you.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust him either.
Would I trust him? No. Would I fuck him? Yeah.
He's afraid of vultures now because, the birds killed his liver. Yeah.
Every day.
That thing. Every day. It's fine. But he's okay.
Okay, so Prometheus tells Percy that he got free because Hercules let him go, and he says, I have a soft spot for heroes. Some of you can be quite civilized. Which
unlike
is
the company you keep.
No, that line specifically feels like the for this kind of person, you're so articulate, like the very like backhanded racist, like some of you can be quite civilized, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I remember my grandma used to live in Rehoboth Beach, which is like a queer mecca. The queers love it there. And I remember her being like, those gays down the street are so soft-spoken and kind. And I'm like, yeah, not all gays are shrieking about pride every single second.
Wow. And then there's I do love the mention of like when we see that it's Ethan, he's our backstabbing buddy because hey, he almost stabbed
because he tried to
Percy
stab him in the back. Yeah.
In the bag. Wow.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you notice? Yeah. So
they sit down at a nice picnic table and we sit and talk.
we sit and chat. It's all good.
Oh my god. And okay, the frost giant keeps like fucking stuff up and then going, uh-oh. And Brooke's daughter Freya is going through a real uh-oh phase right now.
Oh my god!
And Brooke just has this record. Oh, I think it might be oh no, actually, but same
so
basic
good.
premise. I just picture like an infant voice going, oh no, oh no. I know. It makes me sad to think of fighting him.
Also, Percy, he says specifically that he reminds him of Tyson, which, like, fucked up.
Yeah, I'm like, we all understand what you're saying, Percy. I wouldn't want to fight that guy either. It's not fair.
I was gonna say he's fucking gigantic, but also like he's small.
Big body, big heart.
He's just a little guy.
No, he is not, Charlie.
In his heart, he is a little guy. Yeah, so Prometheus kind of wants revenge, but also he's like, no, this is the wisest choice. Kronos is the side that I should be backing. Did you not get that? I'm the Titan of Forethought. Like, I thought about this.
Yeah, he makes Percy a nice little map of Manhattan and shows him where all the armies are, and he says that they outnumber them 20-1. Like, the odds really are not very good that we survive another day of this shit.
I know.
Or
it's really
night.
crazy how much audacity Percy continues to have despite the odds. I guess that's what you need in a hero of a story.
Yeah.
But damn, it would be really hard. I'd be like holding up the vessel being like, Hope, are you in there?
Oh.
I really need you.
Just you need some hope, Christina. Did you not know? You need to believe in yourself. You need hope.
Well, that's why Percy is a protagonist and we are podcasting schmucks.
True that.
Yeah.
And Percy also knows that what Prometheus is saying is likely to happen because he says that they're going to have to retreat to the Empire State Building, and that's exactly what Rachel drew in a painting earlier.
Oh my god, I got so confused because I have two friends that are married and their names are Rachel and Drew, and I was like, how does Raye know them? What are they talking about? Okay.
Yeah, you know,
but
Rachel
I remember
Drew.
You know Rachel Elizabeth Dare?
I think her name is Rachel Elizabeth. Wait, her name is literally Rachel Elizabeth.
Yeah.
No, my friend's name is Rachel Elizabeth.
I'm realizing
right now. That's
hilarious.
So funny.
My mom's middle name is Elizabeth, and I was always like, why didn't you give me your middle name? I could have been Rachel Elizabeth, just like my favorite Percy Jackson character.
Mom, how could you not predict?
Here's your chance. Just change your full name to Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Just do it.
You can do whatever
Make
you
it
want.
happen.
And
then dye
do
your
whatever
hair
you want
red.
forever.
And then dye your hair red.
And then
So you
start
can match.
seeing the future.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, this is also interesting that, like, Prometheus isn't just like, I thought about this because, like, I'm smart. He's also just like, I foresee it. Like, I know the future. So it's like, it's actually, like, kind of prophecy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you would think the Titan of Forethought, he just, like, you know, is smart.
I don't know. I wonder, like, I'm kind of imagining it more like being able to project, like, deduction, like, I have considered all of the variables, and this is what's going to happen because the universe works on variables.
More of like a Sherlockian
way
of looking at it
than an oracle.
Sure.
My brain was going for Ace Attorney. So
Sherlock's there also.
No, that's Sherlock Sholmes.
I know.
Yeah, so okay. Now we have to talk about this part where Prometheus is like, you're refighting the Trojan War. Yeah. I mean, yes, he is Achilles, literally. Like,
well, LOL at that. But Percy's like, what are you gonna put a horse in the elevator of the Empire State Building? And it's like, Percy, man, it's a metaphor. It is not gonna play out exactly the same.
Prometheus like smiles at it because just like, silly boy.
You're so stupid and sweet. Come fight for us.
He's just like, no, I mean, like, you're Troy, and you're the ones defending, you're gonna be completely destroyed. Like, you know what happened to the Trojans? Yeah. And then
they have a condom named after them now. Is that what you want, Percy?
You know, now that I think about it, that's a terrible name for a condom.
Because
I'm assuming it's supposed to be impenetrable. Yeah, no, they did get in, though.
They literally got in.
I'm gonna name the next condom Titanic.
We'll
never break.
Why are Trojan condoms named? I'm not the first person to Google. They help you.
Yeah.
They help you come inside safely.
God damn it. God fucking damn it.
I don't know if that is what Trojan has stated as their official reason, but that's from our shower thoughts.
Thanks, our shower thoughts.
It would be the shower thoughts that do
That's
it.
so
It would
good.
be.
Oh my god.
See, in my brain, when Prometheus asked, you know what happened to the Trojans? My brain was just like, yeah, like they were succeeded by Rome. What do you mean? What do you mean? What happened to the Trojans? Don't worry about them. They're fine.
I don't think they were very fine.
Charlie says they're fine.
They're fine. Don't worry
That's
about
not
it.
what I got out of that graphic novel.
You know what? You know what? Paris got what he deserved. His brother, who was it? Hector?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hector's the one who could do no wrong, right?
Yeah, Hector deserved better. We
Hector's
all agree
everyone's
about this.
favorite in the
Oh my
war,
God.
honestly.
Okay, so all of my knowledge about the Greek gods comes directly from Harry Potter. All of my, I obviously said that wrong. Comes from Percy Jackson. All of my knowledge about the Trojan War comes from the Song of Achilles.
Which we have still not read.
Y'all, I know that in the world, a lot of people say, oh my god, you haven't read this, you haven't watched this, and you roll your eyes because there's so much media out there, and how could you possibly take every recommendation? How could other people possibly know what you will love? It's frankly a disgrace that you guys haven't read that yet. It's appalling. It's shocking. It's a disgrace.
You know what? It would be on our list, but you know how great it was last time we covered a book on the bonus show?
What happened? What book was it?
You were there!
You were there.
Oh my god, not Big Red Tequila! Try covering a good book this time, for fuck's sake.
Oh, we'll
It's
see.
the gayest
We'll
thing
see.
I've ever read. Anyway, carry on.
Good. You're right.
Besides my autobiography.
I'm not saying you're not right, but moving on.
Yeah, so Prometheus is trying to convince us that Kronos just wants to destroy Olympus. He will leave everyone else alone.
That
Do we
does
believe
not
it?
seem like that is his MO in general. Yeah.
Question: Can the Titans destroy Olympus but leave the Empire State Building? Okay.
I would assume technically,
Okay.
but also
that was created
know.
by innocence.
okay, like
And I also feel like there's never not somebody in that building. The building has to be safe.
yeah. So like I was thinking about this as I was reading the chapter, because they're like, oh yeah, you saw how Poseidon was after his undersea palace was attacked. But like it's not just his palace, it's like the whole state of his realm was like causing his entire being to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go the opposite route and you kill the gods, wouldn't, everything that they stand for kind of like fade a little bit?
So
remember when Kann died?
I think, yeah. No, because Pan dies, but there is still wild spaces in the world, and the point is that we have to defend them. Like, I think that the Empire State Building can exist without Olympus, but I don't think that Olympus can exist without the Empire State Building anymore, maybe? I don't know.
Well, that's really interesting because, like, I mean, the divorce rate is 50%. Is Hera doing her job? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder.
Listen, why is she not the goddess of divorce yet? Why has she not left his ass?
Because she, most interpretations I've seen of Hera, she is extremely misogynist. So that is why she's not the goddess of divorce, and that is why she has not left his ass.
This is why I want to rewrite Hera so bad.
No.
Make your own Hera, a better Hera.
Be the goddess that she deserves to be instead of the goddess that men created her to be.
What is she the goddess of besides marriage? Is she the goddess of like mothers?
She's the goddess of women.
What does that mean though?
Like, I don't know.
Women aren't doing very well. What is she doing? Roe versus Wade got overturned.
Queen of the gods, goddess of marriage, women, marital harmony.
No, that's still just saying marriage again.
And protector of women during childbirth.
That's still just women again. Okay. Okay, so she
presides over weddings and
she's
shit.
working on the motherhood mortality issue, but she's working on it harder for white women than women of color, and that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Hera.
she's the goddess of traditional family values. Like,
Yes.
you know she hates gay people.
Yes.
That's why I don't want her to be that goddess anymore. I really don't.
Oh my god!
want her to be
Wait,
that.
what? A new Hera that is a drag mom. You know how drag queens have like their moms. Like, let her be that kind of.
I'm
mom.
sorry. I don't know enough about the drag culture.
I think
sadly.
it's like in a sorority you have like a big sister or whatever. Oh no, a big and little or whatever. I think it's like that.
Okay.
Like a lot of people when they enter the drag community, I think have someone who like guides them through it. And I've heard a lot of different drag queens refer to like their drag mom.
I thought you meant like a literal like mother of
a mom who does drag
queen.
Mother of the drag queen.
No, like the drag queen has a mother, and their mother is just super supportive.
Oh,
and just like
I'm sure that exists
and
too.
I was like, yeah, I would love for Hera to be that person.
Okay, so Hera is a drag queen. Hera is a drag mom. Hera's catchphrase is "Honey, dump his ass."
Do it. Rewrite
please.
it.
Yeah.
And her drag name is Hera Spray. I make myself laugh. You guys don't have to laugh. I'm laughing. Don't worry about it.
Good.
Oh my god.
Are we at the part yet where Ethan is talking about how he became radicalized? Because I have a lot to say about that.
We're basically there.
That is the most interesting part of the chapter.
But first we have to learn that Thalia has a last name.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I forgot that was ever not a thing.
Right? I was like, whoa, Percy, this is the first time this has come up. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know what?
I think he just literally wasn't paying attention. I think it's been mentioned before.
She says she doesn't use it, which is interesting. She's like Beyonce. She's like, I'm just Thalia.
I'm just Kann. But you know what? Her last name is a reference to a character in Greek mythology. I'm not going to go off on a whole thing because they're not super big, but like the Graces. One of them is named Thalia.
Fascinating.
They're like part of Aphrodite's like whole little court. Because the Graces, I think, are like her like female women, her women who follow her, and then there's Cupid and not Cupid, the Eros and all of like the male love gods. There's just like a lot of like weird like love and beauty gods that like follow her around. They're part of her. I'm trying to remember what the word is called. Retinue? Am I saying this right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, retinue.
Okay, so I'm having a problem, and I have this problem in the Harry Potter. Literally, they're just interchangeable, I guess. I have this problem in the Harry Potter fandom as well. When you try to Google something to find the context outside of the series, and all you can find is the context inside of the series. But I'm just now remembering. It's going to bother me for the rest of my life. I know I'll never find this book again, but I'm just now remembering that when I was a kid, I was very obsessed with a middle grade like girls book series about Thalia, the Grace.
Fascinating.
Yes, I'm literally just remembering it. I don't remember anything else. I remember that the cover was pink, I think. And I'm going to jump off a bridge because I have no further details and I'm never going to remember what it is.
I fucking hate it when that happens.
If anyone
remembers,
remembers,
to Google at this point.
Yeah, because I Googled I mean, I'm a dumbass, and I Googled middle grade novel Talia Grace, and they're like, oh, do you mean
I'm
Percy
so
Jackson?
sorry.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, no, I don't
Percy
mean Percy
Jackson.
Jackson. I actually can't jump off a bridge because the rivers in New York City will not let me, unfortunately. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please tell me. I'm sure you don't, though.
Maybe someone.
Maybe, possibly. Okay,
So-
but like the fact that Percy's like, wow, she seemed like a real person because she had a last name now. It's so weird.
Bro, she's a
And
real
I'm-
person. What is wrong with you?
Okay, but like my brain went to like the place of like, remember like back in book 1 when we're like names have power and all of that shit in this
Mhm.
world, and it's like, hey, you know what? We've given her like a family name now. We've like brought her back down. We've like revealed more of her essence, and so she's
Mhm.
not as like mysterious and strange, you know?
Hmm.
That's my interpretation of it, rather than
Yeah.
Percy being like, huh, she has a last name. Wild to think
Fucking
about.
idiot. He's busy. His brain's not on right now, guys. He
No,
keeps
it's
getting
not.
rattled up. He needed to take a nap and he didn't have a good time with it.
Yeah, so Prometheus is like, hey, like Titans could be like cool. Remember, you met Calypso. Like, we don't all deserve all of this shit. Also, he makes like a weird little doll out of clay.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
He's talking about how he helped shape humanity, like we were talking about earlier. And he says that if Percy joins the Titans side, if they like give up this war effort, that he's going to give mankind a new gift that will move them as far forward as fire did, which is quite the claim.
It's quantum mechanics.
He
I don't-
invented the quantum computer.
I think that we're close, but I don't think we're quite there yet. If I understand quantum
I don't,
correctly.
but
I've done
I
so
am-
much research because I just so don't get it at all. And
Mhm.
the more research I do, the more confused I get. And I even I was reading a board book called Baby's First Book of Quantum Physics, and I was like reading it with my husband
What?
to a baby,
Where?
and I was like, I don't understand any of this.
Why are you trying to learn this?
Huh?
Why?
Because
Why
it's
do you
very
wanna know?
interesting. I think it literally started when I watched Ant-Man.
I was gonna say,
good.
it feels like Ant-Man propaganda, because like everything in Ant-Man is just like, we're gonna put quantum in front of this thing.
We're gonna do a quantum
real.
scooter down to the quantum realm where everything
Are
is
you
quantum, and this is my quantum wife. She's been lost in the quantum realm.
Are you just putting quantum in front of everything to make it cool? Yes, yes, they are.
Yes, I am. That being said, Ant-Man is the only Marvel superhero I still give a shit about.
Valid.
I do love him.
He's so
I do.
cute. I love how unscience. I think the other movies try to be scientific. I think that Ant-Man is like, we're not trying.
It doesn't fucking matter. He's so small.
Yeah.
I love Ant-Man because I love their weird family dynamic and that
Yeah.
he's divorced and has a relationship with his daughter. I think that's cool of him.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
We mentioned Calypso for 5 seconds, and Percy is like, don't talk about it. We're not talking about it. Thank God Annabelle's not here.
Okay,
That's what
so
shouldn't be here.
now we have made it to the Ethan part, because Percy's like, you must hate the idea of making a deal with us because you want revenge. And Ethan's like, literally, I just want respect as a person.
Yeah. I feel like the Hermes cabin radicalizes children. Because
You're right.
his parent is Nemesis, if I'm correct, but
Mhm.
Nemesis does not have a cabin, so he has been in the Hermes cabin,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That's also where Luke was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
and it is like the island of misfit toys. It's
Lit-
like
yeah.
The Hufflepuff.
it's like it's for forgotten children to go be forgotten. It's like the orphanage of camp. It's like everyone there is fucking mad. They're not mad at being, they're either mad at being the child of a god who is too small to have a cabin, they're mad at being unclaimed, or they're mad at Hermes, who will not stop fucking. Stop fucking. Stop making. Can I recommend Trojan? It will help you come safely inside. Like, please stop making children. They will become radicalized because you're a bad parent. Like,
This is why it
these
was
children.
This is why it was so perfect for like Luke to also be in the cabin where everybody is like this. Like, he understands, like, he hates his dad, and then he's like, wow, all of these people are just, like, put here because nobody cares about them. And Hermes is like, I care about you, but Luke's like,
Fake.
I know for goddamn right, he does not care about anyone.
It's literally fake. Ew, sorry, I just remembered Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's fucking so many people.
You remembered him in his goddamn hoodie?
So, yeah, if I was in the Hermes cabin, I think that I would have ended up on the wrong side of this war. Because I would have been so sad and butthurt.
How are Connor and Travis, like, still so pure?
They have each other.
Or, like, not.
They have each other.
Fair.
They have each other. They have crimes, petty thievery.
Yeah, they have, like, a purpose in life. You know what I mean?
They're just like, be gay, do crime.
As is right. So everything that Ethan says here is deeply interesting because Percy's like, your mom's the goddess of revenge. And he's like, no, she's balance. When people have too much good luck, she tears them down. And she took Ethan's eye as payment in exchange for him one day tipping the balance of power and bringing the minor gods respect, which is what he's trying to do right now. All these minor gods who are like, damn, the Olympians are shitty. We're hanging out with Kronos now.
There are too many gods. That is why it's really, really dumb to have a cabin for each one. Especially the ones who don't make children.
Would you rather sort these children by their personality instead?
I would
with a hat, perhaps.
I would probably, if I were running the camp, I would probably sort them by age.
Wow, you know what a novel idea.
I know. And then once you hit 16, you can be a counselor. It's not just because you have been agonizing your life away in the Hermes cabin for longer than anyone else.
But the real question is, would you sort them by gender?
Probably not. Unless I would not sort them by gender, but if you're in charge of children, you have to figure out how to not let them fuck each other all the time. And that's a problem regardless of gender.
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
It's not a good solution.
You give them Trojan.
Just make it available. Our camp is sponsored by Trojan.
God damn it.
Honestly, I think that would be at the camp supplies store.
No, you have to. I'm so upset. These children don't have enough supervision. You cannot be selling. If you're going to have Trojans for the children on site, you have to be giving them away for free. You cannot be making them pay.
No, it's just there because that's where all of the supplies are. It's not because they're making them pay.
Okay, or...
But more importantly, who's giving them the talk? Is it Dionysus?
No.
Okay.
He would fucking never.
They're gonna get two talks. They're gonna get two talks. One from Chiron that has a lot of diagrams and scientific language, and the other one from Dionysus that is like, here's how you hold a woman.
Yes! How do you lose a woman? You forget to cherish
her. Legendary. That's a very Percy thing to say. Wait, I actually love Tiny Sprouse Children fan cast as Percy Jackson. That would have been really cute.
And they're still blonde.
Is Percy blonde in the book?
In the movie, or in the not the movie, the TV show. Walker's blonde.
I know, but is he blonde in the book?
No, he's black haired.
Oh,
that's
why. I don't think it matters at all.
Yeah,
that's why him and Harry are the same person.
So stupid.
Black hair and green eyes.
I really hate books that make a point about how someone looks when it doesn't fucking matter. Like, who cares what color their hair is? We only care about Harry's green eyes because they look just like his mother's, but I guess we don't care at all because Daniel Radcliffe's little eyes didn't like the contacts.
It's only important so that you know what the characters look like just so you can visualize them. That's the only point of doing it.
I totally agree, but I'm talking about in like adaptations.
Yeah, no. In adaptations, it's like, who fucking cares? Yeah,
it's way more about the essence of a character, a la, what's her name? Leah Jeffries? Is that her last name?
I'm now forgetting everything. I know it's Leah.
It's definitely Leah. I don't really remember her last name.
Me neither.
Yeah, Jeffries.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
I was like, if it's not Jeffries, it's Davies. Like it's
My
it's like
brain was like,
it's a cutie
it starts
little
with a
last name.
J. I feel like you were correct, but I could not.
So like that's a classic cast for essence, not for exactly what the book says the character looks like.
My brain is so focused on their first names because they're small children. I don't have to full name them yet. They're not adult actors. Yeah.
Yes.
So flashback. Let's go to the flashback.
So upsetting.
It's interesting. Prometheus gives him this flashback because he can see that Percy is bothered by what Ethan says because it makes him think about Luke. So, like, you're fucking right about Hermes' cabin. Shit up in there. Yeah, so we're back to May Castellan's living room.
I don't like it. It's so uncomfortable.
Luke's just like, I fucking hate you. Get out of my face.
Like,
and Hermes is like, I care.
I'm sad for almost every single person in this scene, and guess which character made me say almost. But, like, I'm so sad for Tiny, Annabeth, and Talia. Like, they have no idea what's going on. They're so young, and Luke's mom is like, upsetting them, right? And Luke, I mean, sweet poor baby. Like, I think that most children would snap if something like this happened to their mother, you know? And so does Luke think that it's Hermes' fault that this happened to his mom? Is that like where the hatred comes from?
I feel like it's like he just left her like that, at least. Maybe
Luke tells us here that he has never met the man before in his life.
Yeah.
Like, no one has been taking care of his mom. No one has been taking care of him. He has been alone for years. And this guy has done nothing.
Yeah, and the, like, we're not allowed to interfere does feel like such bullshit. It's like, that's the God equivalent of, like, you'll understand when you're older. A lot of stuff that my mom said I would understand when I'm older, I do not yet. They also said I'd be Republican when I got older.
They do like to tell you that, don't they?
I didn't. I did not actually become a Republican yet. I'll let you know if that happens.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and then obviously I feel extremely sad for Luke's mom. It's very, like, I mean, not to keep bringing up Game of Thrones, which I take it neither one of you has seen from the last.
Nope.
But for the listeners, it's very, like, Hodor. It's just very, like,
okay, I know this.
You gotta know Hodor if you're on the internet. But it's very, like, there are certain things you're just not meant to know. Like, the knowledge will break you. And that's, like, exactly what happened. And it's extremely upsetting.
I know the vaguest of things about Game of Thrones, and also my girlfriend has been watching some Game of Thrones, apparently, and reading it. I'm getting a lot of that information. All right, so yeah, Hermes is bullshit. He's like, I do love you, but also he hesitated. So, like, I don't know if I believe him.
I don't think, I mean, can God's love, straight up, can God's love?
There's a God of love.
That does not convince me.
The thing about the Greek pantheon is that their flaw as gods is that they are too human. Like, I think that they are beings of passion, and I think that they are capable of love, especially the Percy Jackson versions. I believe Hermes that he loves Luke, and I also believe that he knows too much about Luke to love him as much as he is supposed to.
Yeah.
He just knows that for some reason, stuff is going to happen to Luke that's going to lead him down a horrible destiny, and he's not supposed to be there for him. That is the rules or whatever, and it's still bullshit.
It takes us back to, like, the classic, like, Oracle conundrum of, like, Hermes being like, this is gonna happen to you, I'm gonna let it happen. And it's like, okay, but, like, could you have taken an action that would have made this not happen?
And the answer is 100% fucking yes.
Yeah.
Like, the reason Luke is doing this is because you were such a shit dad.
Yeah.
If you had maybe decided to not be a shit dad because you think that your son has a horrible prophecy, then he wouldn't have had a horrible prophecy, idiot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly.
And I feel like Hermes, if anything, is like, oh, I've tried to outrun a prophecy before. I know how that goes. And it's like, maybe that's like the beauty of humans is that they, like, keep trying no matter what, you know, even against all odds.
They have hope.
Bonus show.
You mean they have hope?
They have hope. When I picture Katara hoping, it's never actual Katara. It's always Ember Ireland players Katara.
It's causing me to tear bend. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so
I was thinking about this scene and like how much I fucking hope that we get it in the TV show eventually. Because I don't know, maybe, do you think Lin-Manuel Miranda can pull this off? Because I think it's going to be really complicated.
Wow. Oh, he is so funny. The thing with that man is like, I feel like I'm constantly both over and underestimating him. Like, he's really good at some things, but I'm not always sure like what those things are. Singing is definitely not on the list. I think acting is on the list, but like to what extent?
I think that he does a good job with like facial acting in the stage performance that I on Disney Plus. Like,
sure.
So maybe he's got the acting chops to like carry like such a complicated scene. I don't know. We'll have to see eventually. I fucking hope.
I'm gonna Google.
We hope. Anyway,
God damn
it.
it.
How does Google always? Okay, so Lin-Manuel Miranda has 2 sons. I think that will help.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will help.
He's a parent. There you go.
And actually, neither of them got shot to death in a duel. That's actually from Hamilton. I totally forgot. I thought that was his real kid.
God damn it.
All right. Prometheus is like, so do you blame Luke? Huh? Maybe the gods are evil? Huh? And Percy's just like, I hate all of what just happened, but Kronos is fucking worse than all of that. Because Kronos just wants to destroy everything.
So we assume, apparently Prometheus thinks otherwise. I don't fucking believe him, though.
Maybe Kronos is lying to Prometheus.
Perhaps. That might explain some things about his behavior here. But also, as the god of foresight, you would fucking think that he could figure it out, so I don't fucking know.
That's why I hate this version of Prometheus. I'm just like, if you were actually the guy from mythology, I feel like you would maybe be smarter than that and not side with Kronos, because you know he doesn't give a shit about the people and you care about the people. So maybe you would, not be on either side, honestly.
Maybe in Prometheus's mind, this is another restart point, like another flood myth, like maybe he's like, okay, if Kronos is going to destroy everything, then we'll just rebuild, kind of idea. I don't know.
Maybe he really also like buys into the narrative that without the Olympic gods, the demigods will have more agency. You know what I mean? Like maybe he buys into the same shit that the demigods on the other team are buying into. And he does think it'll be better for the people without gods dictating everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's on the side of like humanity, but also the minor gods. I feel like
maybe he does value like freedom above safety. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could make sense for his character.
But again, these are not things that I'm getting from the book. These are things that I'm getting from how I see Prometheus in my mind.
Yeah. So Percy is like, you can take your deal and shove it up your ass, and my deal is if Kronos fucking leaves and returns to Tartarus, then maybe I won't kill him.
Okay, Percy, it's so cute how intense you're being right now.
I love Percy.
He's also specifically like, leave Luke's body.
Yes,
and go to Tartarus.
Because he does feel bad for Luke. Ugh. Anyways, sorry.
Not even just like go in Luke's body to Tartarus. But yeah.
When/how did Luke die?
Luke is not dead, presumably, but there is a Titan inside of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he also bathed in the Styx, just like Percy, so he's also invulnerable now.
I love
which means that he can be possessed.
They can have a superhero fight now. Because
they can.
Impenetrable, impervious.
Yeah. So Prometheus gives him the Pithos, the jar. It's here. Percy has hope now. He has hope. Also, I guess, is this like specifically the first Impuza or just like an Impuza? I don't know. The way that like this is written is like, oh yeah, all the things that haunt humankind were taken out of this box, like fear, death, hunger, sickness. Don't forget me. Like
but he doesn't address her. He just says the first Impuza was also in this jar. But that might make sense. If she has a relevant connection to the jar, then maybe that's why she's here at this meeting.
She's like, this is my jar. It's not leaving my sight. No, I'm the caretaker of the jar. Yeah.
She's like, this is my old home. Take it. I guess. Yeah. So Percy has a jar. Cool. And now he has hope. And
so, comparing this to the Adam and Eve story, what Prometheus says is that the gods knew that she was going to open the thing, and that they were happy to punish her and all of humankind for something that they put directly in front of her, which reminds me of the Adam and Eve story. And like, if you didn't want them to eat the apples, but you knew that they were going to do that, why'd you put them in the garden in the first place? Like,
yes. Okay. So here's a corollary. If I leave a block of cheese on the counter and then I leave for 5 hours and I come back and there's little cat teeth marks all over that block of cheese and big chunks missing, that's my bad.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Oh my god, are you saying that your god and your cats are humans?
Absolutely not. Obviously, you've never met a cat.
Yes, but you're the god to them.
I am not. I am the slave.
Yeah, also Percy just being like, Pandora must have been completely ADHD like me, because like she wanted to open this jar just because she was curious and couldn't stop thinking about it, and the temptation.
It's very big red button syndrome, and I sympathize.
Yeah,
it's the meme. it's the do I press it? Yeah, but Percy's like, I don't want it. Don't give it to me. But now it's his. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused about like the hope thing. Why is it in the jar? Is it good or bad that it's in the jar? What happens when it comes out? Why is it bad for hope to come out of the jar?
Yeah. It's always seemed a little strange the way that works. But
the fact that it's like all of the evils now plague humanity, but hope is in the jar, but we still have.
So we don't have hope because it's in the jar.
I've always been confused by that. Yeah, but apparently, I don't know. I'm
out here asking the hard questions.
Yeah. I've never read the original myth, and I guess you would need to like actually.
Is it because you're holding hope close to your heart, kind of like you're like keeping it with you?
That's sort of like, what is implied, that hope won't leave Pandora. Like,
yeah, so like she'll always have hope while all of those men will have all those evils.
Yeah, it just taking them. I feel like it's a metaphor that somebody didn't think through.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what?
It's giving like Harry Potter love magic. It's like, I hear ya, not sure I'm with ya.
Yeah,
but I might just not be like understanding the metaphor correctly. Yeah, I don't know. Because all of it has always seemed quite strange to me.
Yeah.
Like what being in the box actually represents versus not being in the box.
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
But it works in Percy Jackson. That what they have given us in Percy Jackson is that Percy holds the hope, and if he lets it go, then that means that he's given up on the war. That's fine.
Yeah.
That all makes sense.
Okay.
It's like the symbol of like, I've given up.
Mm-hmm. I've given up hope. Yeah.
LOL. They must not know him very well if they're like,
yeah, he would never.
He would never. That's our boy.
Well, the world's most stubborn jackass, Percy Jackson.
Are we good with the chapter? Have we done it?
We're good. I'm good. I'm fucking. I think that chapter is really, really good. I like the Ethan conversation. I like the Hermes and Luke conversation. The Hermes and Luke conversation is like hit me very hard emotionally. I was like, you really thought this through, Rick. Like these feel like real people who are dealing with something very difficult. Yeah, right? I'm good. Yeah. Let's talk about our plugs. Tina, where do you think that anyone is listening to this who hasn't heard you before and knows exactly who you are? What are the odds?
Before reading.
Please listen to Bird Before Reading. It's a very cool show.
It's the only podcast.
Yes.
Did you and I make the same joke at the same time? Yes. God damn it.
The only podcast you've ever had that's ever existed. Ignore these bookmarks that I have that you made.
They say burn before reading. I don't know what you're talking about. That's actually a horrible way to use a bookmark. You're gonna actually want to hang on to that until after you're done reading.
Yes,
Don't
I
burn
certainly
it
will.
yet. Yeah, so find me there.
You got a plug, Tina?
Oh, sure.
Media.
Yeah, I recently read When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill.
Ooh.
It's what it sounds like. It's like set in the 50s, but it's like a lot of women all on one day. Just they use dragon as a verb. They all dragoned. I'm the mass dragoning. And so like all of these
Were they bad dragons?
No, they're good. And then like it's in the middle of all of this like 1950s like gender essentialism. These women be dragoning. So it's very cool, very subversive.
Good for them.
Extremely feminist, very good read.
I watched a local production of Ride the Cyclone recently, and it fucking slapped so hard.
What's Ride the Cyclone?
Ride the Cyclone is a musical about a group of choir children who rode a roller coaster at their local theme park called the Cyclone, and they all died horrible deaths.
Is that real? That really happened?
No.
Oh.
It is about their post-mortem experience with the carnival like fortune telling box guy, the amazing Karnak. He tells them that he can resurrect one of them and return them to life, but they have to decide who that's going to be. And so everybody sings a song about either their life or their dreams, and tries to show that they're the one who should be returned to life. Whoa. And one of them is a Jane Doe who lost her head and replaced it with a doll's head and doesn't know who she is. And she's so cool.
I'm terrified.
It's like this very trippy, weird-ass musical, but it's very funny. Yeah, I highly recommend.
The premise is incredible.
Yeah. We saw it, and like it's such like a surreal, funny show. At the end, we were crying. It was so good.
Googling it right now. Wow.
I haven't listened through the like album yet. I've only like seen this local production. I'm very excited to hear the songs again and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. Well, media that Charlie is consuming. I bought a new game because my girlfriend really likes this game. So I was like, why don't I try that? Well,
you sound so enthusiastic.
I was like, listen, I have heard like middling things about this online, so I'm just like, I don't know how other people feel about this, but I'm playing Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
People are just like, meh, and I'm like, okay, but this is something that like someone I really like is really enjoying right now, so I wanted to try it, and that'd be cool.
How is it going? Have you started it?
The controls are so I'm just like so confused. I've barely played PC games. Like,
yeah.
And so like going back to, I mean, I know the WASD. I know it exists, but I never actually played games that had it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sounds like a difficult transition. You gotta buy a controller, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just gotta learn new controls. I'm very confused like all of the time because of the controls, and that's just my life. Also, I get lost a lot.
I always get lost a lot in the first like half of any video game. And then once I finally get it, I'm like almost done. And I'm like, okay. That's why I love the newer like Zelda games, because the point is to like get lost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, getting lost in Zelda, that's fine. Like, that's the point. You're supposed to be there.
My first like 20 minutes of Baldur's Gate, I was like almost crying because I was
like,
I don't know, where do I get there? And I didn't know what anything was, and it was so upsetting.
Open world games are deeply painful.
I feel like I never got lost in Baldur's Gate because there was always like the little thing like leading me toward the place, and I'm just like, okay, am I going the right way? Cool, I am. And there was like a little map in the corner.
It's called a waypoint.
I don't know how it is. Yeah, I got the mini map, and like
I'm playing split screen with Sean, and I cannot see any of the small
symbology
on the screen.
I am so sorry, man.
It's okay. The mini maps are very hard for me, I think, because I cannot see very well.
I mean, I would also just like so how I get around in video games and try to make sure I'm going the right direction is I like look at the map, I start moving in a direction, and then I look at the map again. Yeah. I'm like,
Classic.
Cool. Am I going the right way? No, I need to go all the way back around.
My latest technique is just spinning in a circle until north is the correct way, and then I'm like, yeah, and then I start running.
In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, when you open the map, it like reorients itself to your orientation.
Oh,
That was a fucking nightmare. I had to turn that shit
it
off.
sucked? Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
awful. I could never
Like
tell where
too-
anything was.
Too much. Okay.
Yeah, but luckily there was an option to turn that shit off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just it's fine. I'm not getting lost in the vastness of space because this is a space game. I'm getting lost on the planet, like in the city. I just like, where is this thing that I'm looking for?
The only good thing I've ever heard about Starfield is that it lets you make non-binary characters. Did you make a non-binary character?
Of course I did.
Of course,
yeah.
good.
You know. Also, my name is Chuck in the game.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
All
in
right.
Baldur's Gate, I went with Charlemagne, so I'm like, what's a different one? Let's go
Those
with
are the right vibes.
exactly.
So, would you like to release us from this mortal coil?
Yeah, I guess I see you there, like waving your white flag because you want me to end this fucking podcast. It's the please let me go. I'm releasing hope. Fine, get out of my fucking cabin. Release your hope. Release all goddamn hope. No more hope. It's done. Hope is gone.
To put a better spin on that metaphor, now she is out in the world and shared with everyone. Yay, peace and love.
Yay.
Yeah, we set her free. We set her free, guys. She deserves it.
Goodbye, Hope. I'll fucking miss you.
Damn, this episode has more endings than Return of the King. Kill it. Kill it.
Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely God Complex level patron, Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support, bud.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Burn Before Reading, a podcast about shiterature, where your hosts, Christina and Leela, cringe about writing.
I'm Christina Kann.
And I'm Leela Hilton,
And this is Burn Before Reading.
the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling?
I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
every Wednesday, wherever pods are cast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Except I'm still dying. Don't worry about it.
Die live on the pod for the content. That'll really
I will.
help the ratings if you pass away live.
Yep, amazing. It could be special Patreon content. Like you have to pay to listen to me die.
The title of the episode is "I'm Dead." LOL.
Dave X Media.